Hello, all. It's been literally an eon since I've actually done a drum lesson. But I felt that now is the time for me to come back to doing a few of them because I'm working strictly for myself and trying to get my chop back. Some of you know in January I had a mild stroke and it did something not as much as what people might think when you hear the word stroke. I found out that I was having problems with my right hand, the spot that lost contact with my brain was controlled on the left side, controls the right side. So my right arm wasn't as flexible as it used to be. And this includes my entire right side. But it was minor. I haven't had any speech problems, at least none that I know of. But it did hamper me some. And I've worked a lot getting my wrists and fingers back. But I never thought about getting my right foot back because I'm not, even though I would love to be, an official, so to speak, double bass drummer. I've watched them all the way up through Louis Bellson and Neil Peart and Thomas Lang and these guys who are just incredible with double bass drumming, but that's never been my style. Back when I was first starting to take lessons back in the 60s, it was all still the single bass drum guys for the most part, and they were doing incredible things with single bass drums. What I am doing tonight is something that I did to learn my single bass drum chops, my left foot, which is most people's right foot, of how I learned to get it controlled and a little bit more speedy and more accurate all at the same time that I've never heard anybody use. I'm sure they have, but it helped me out. When I first started playing in show bands, I was playing mostly flat foot or a little bit with heel up, but it didn't have any power. The power that I needed to in the show band was to drive the band. When I first got in Second Coming, I had to drive the band like gangbusters. So I did some steps that many people don't necessarily do. I have been using ankle weights when I first started out. Now, to show you this, I don't know whether you can see it, but if you look at my right foot, they have ankle weights on. They kind of wrap around. They're geared for walking and exercising. What they do is they strengthen your calf and they strengthen your thighs because you're picking them up and walking. When you're playing heel up with power, your leg, your thigh has to be a suspension. And one of the things that I've told all of my students when they're first starting in bass drumming is that the way I learned how to do it was I took both sticks together and I placed it underneath my leg and I pulled up on my leg so that my thigh and calf suspend my foot. And now, and I don't think you can see this, maybe I should use the other camera. With the leg suspended, I use my toe to actually push down just the toe right at where the toes and the ball of the foot meet, push down the pedal with that. And it didn't take long to actually get this movement happening with the sticks. Well, consequently, in order to do that, you have to have that same suspension without the sticks. So I figured, let's go strengthen the legs. Well, I put on these ankle weights. Now, these are not 10-pound ankle weights. These are 2-pound ankle weights on each ankle. And consequently, by lifting up my leg, it actually strengthened my leg and my calf, and it let me suspend, and it was hard to do at first. It let me suspend enough to where I could really pound out some power on the bass drum. And I thought, well, if I can get fast doing this, lifting the leg up, and having my muscles actually having to lift the leg with the leg weights on, it would give me not only more power, but give me more accuracy. So rather than going for speed, because I still live only play with one bass drum, I thought, being that I had this damage on my right side and my right leg, let's start to try to do the same technique that I was doing with my right foot, adding second bass drum. While in doing that, all of a sudden, with the ankle weight on, I remembered, boy, it's starting to give me power where I need it the most. This is normally my hi-hat leg, so you don't need a lot of power to push the pedal up and down. But using it as a bass drum, it's actually giving me the power to equal the sound on the other bass drum. And consequently, it's making my right stronger so that I can do some of the things that some of the double bass drummers, if not all of the double bass drummers, do. It's giving me the precision that I need by having the weight actually be on my leg. Eventually, as it did with my first endeavor, when I take the weights off, maybe I'll be that much faster because my legs will be that much lighter without the weights on them. The problem is right now with me is endurance. So what I've been doing are some exercises alternating between the hands and feet. And combination. And so on and so on. All these different patterns not only give me endurance, they're also teaching me to be more ambidextrous with both sides, and it's giving me the power to actually have independence, not only, and I've had independence with my bass drum and my hi-hat, but being able to musically complement each other. So, my tip for today, if you choose to try it, because not many people do, is try using leg weights to build your legs up. I did it once with my single bass drum, and it makes it a lot stronger and a lot more definitive. But now with both legs on, it's building up both sides for me. It's building up my leg muscles, it's building up my calf muscles, and it's building up my drumming endurance.